Alright, so I've kind of committed to it. We're going to go full bore. Going to go dive in all the wiring, take it all out, take the chassis, harness out. We're pretty much 90% there. This is ABS wiring that I took out. So I had this well enough. I was going to put a sheathing on it and be fine with it, but kind of want to just take every single wire straight back to the ECU and the plug that it originates from, and everything that's not used, take that wire out, deep pin it, and strictly basically run a fresh light harness to just what's necessary. And we gotta go through this, clean this up, see what I can take off of it, label it better. Like, I don't know, it just has some janky extensions on it, and it seems like it was slimmed down. Like, this isn't, obviously wasn't all factory to begin with. And I'd also like to fix the wiring under the dash by the driver's side. I've kind of just dealt with it. It is what it is type of thing. It's working, but I'm this deep. I'm going to take the dash out, clean up all the wiring, all the weird splices that are underneath the dash. Kind of open the can of worms with this one, and we're going to make it nice. Nice wire tuck. It's going to look sick. In the end, it's going to be worth it. So I'll let you know when I get the dash out. Alright, so this is the fun I've gotten into. The harness is out, the dash is out. Just showing you a little pre-cleanup and removal. This is all the wiring underneath that I was talking about. It's been hacked together over the years and I've added to it a little bit. But I'm going to remove all unnecessary stuff and get back to you, let you know what I removed. I also want to get the engine harness out completely and the front chassis harness out. We have the dash harness, the engine harness completely out. The ECU connections, everything that's inside. I'll put a picture right here of it. I have it on the floor inside. I'm working on it. The next thing I'm going to try to do, I'm committing to it. We're going to put the fuse box in the glove box. So as you've seen, I've had it down here. And what that did though, like, it was easy. Didn't have to do any wiring or nothing. But it left a bundle of wire right there. And if you look closely, you could see it. So I have the time for the parts on back order. I have nothing else to do right now with the car. So might as well do this. I'll enjoy it in the end. It's a lot of work. And kind of depressing seeing this car in this state. Just everything. Soon it'll look a lot better, and that's why I got to keep telling myself it'll be worth it in the end for sure. So I'll show you the interior right now. It's pretty bad. So yeah, pretty bad. And so for the wiring harness, I got rid of all the stuff up top that I was talking about. I kept one thing. That's for the wiper motor, because I live in Florida, so I'm not really trying to have no wipers. Rain-X does a great job, but still want some wipers, or the option at least. But I cut out all the ABS, took out the ABS computer under the foot, where the passenger feet are. Took out all the necessary plugs in that harness. I'll show you the harness once it's done. I'm going to go ahead and rip out this chassis harness and I'll show you what it looks like when I'm done. But we're making progress. Just got to keep going, because if you take a long break and you lose motivation, 6 months can go by like nothing. Oh, also, all those wirings, I'm going to fix that. This was what the other guy started, and I kind of just, when I had to run new shit, ran it right out there. It's worked. Basically, how I put it is like, I've been making it work since I've had the car with different things. I've been making it work. Now I'm making it right and work. So we're going to run all those wires properly. Alright, so chassis harness is out. Looking much cleaner around here. Like I said, I'm going to get these wires ran properly, but here's the chassis harness. I actually stripped most of the wires out of it that I don't need. Here's just a few. So once we get everything out of it we don't need, we'll go to put this back on, mounting that in the glove box. Alright, so I've cleaned up some wires. Figured I'd give you a little update. We got the ABS, the airbag light computer out, and in here, this wire was just sloppily ran across the floor, and the carpet was over it. So I put it in the channels. That goes up there. I properly ran the nitrous hose, nitrous line. So it was okay how it was, but now it's tucked better and it off the floor. The next thing I'm going to do is go ahead and put the dash back in. I almost deleted heater core, but we're going to keep it. I'm a little too worried about having to defog it when it rains and stuff, so. I struggled with that for a while, but we got it in. I took out that pillar. I think that was messing me up, and then I wasn't lining it up with the center pin very well, but got that back in. And originally I was gonna follow this one guy's post where you just remove the chassis harness, you put the fuse box in here, you run the wiring harness as far as you can on the driver's side, and then you have to extend whatever you have to extend. Same thing with the passenger side, and you basically do it as you go. And then once I started looking to run the chassis harness all under there was a pain in the ass. I decided against it. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut and extend it. I'm gonna run the harness the factory way, since it's pretty hidden anyways. I'm gonna run it the factory way. You know, back around the fender, down and under, and then once it gets to this passenger light area, it'll come right here, basically splice, extend into there, splice into the fuse box. That's up there. Also, originally I was going to do it where the airbag is, and I had the whole thing sitting in here, the wire pushed all the way down there, but to be honest, doing that way, then it's basically impossible to take the dash back out. 1, 2, with my airbag delete cover, it wouldn't work because I can't bolt it in, and be kind of a pain in the ass. I don't know how I'd get that to stay on there and look decent. So we're going in the glove box. I'll show you that in a second. So this is what it looks like. It's going in that glove box like that. I drilled a hole right there, and right here is 29 wires that I'm going to cut and extend. So that should be pretty fun. I labeled every single one, top and bottom. I'm going to cut in the middle on every one of them and hope for the best. So I'll get back to you guys after I'm done cutting them all. Alright, so I'm in here working on the wiring, and this was a shit show before. Wires going everywhere. I actually ran for the gauge, the oil pressure gauge, I actually ran it out and over the fender down, instead of before the guy had it ran out the steering shaft, and it was kind of sketchy. So now what I'm working on is the wideband. So actually they use the wideband basically right here in the exhaust. It's the rear O2 sensor. It's location basically. But I need to get my seat out to get to the plug is like right here where the wire comes out for the stock factory location. That's where I'm going to run the wideband to, because like the oil pressure, they had it ran out there, the steering shaft. And then it was ran like through here, looped, and then underneath the car. Well, I want to just run it to the stock location and down. I have cleaned up this area quite a bit. There used to be a ton of stuff coming out of there. Now it's only going to be the boost gauge and the fuel pressure sensor. There used to be the fuel pressure sensor, the boost gauge, the wideband, the oil pressure, the power steering controller unit. Now it's just going to be two. And it's going to look much better, cleaner, better routing. For the power steering, it's right... Well, it's plugged in already, but it's right here. This is the power steering controller. I still got to run a power wire to the power feed spot. But this is oil pressure gauge, which is going to go basically right here. Yeah, basically this stuff's going to run over the fender now, nice, tucked. I guess since I'm doing an update, I'll just show you what I've done. This is the fuse box extension. So, the fuse box is in the glove box. All this wire's getting better ran. This is actually for the fuel pump relay. And I gotta hook that to the battery. I'm probably gonna hook it straight to the battery with the fuse instead, because it was ran up to the old positive post. This is the cable that's from the rear battery. And there was a distribution block right here. I bought this one, but I'm not sure. It's kind of big. I don't really need that many ports. So I haven't decided yet. This is the other side of the chassis harness that needs to be spliced in. So that's fun. These are all numbered. Basically stripped everything out of it that I don't need. It tucks in here pretty nicely and hidden, so it doesn't really matter. Coming along, I got to also run a couple more wires. I got to finish up the power steering. I got to install a vacuum pump, so that I got to figure out what I'm going to do with that. But, yeah, looking good. But what I was saying, why I even started recording again, was so I need to move this seat to get to that plug location for the O2 sensor. And obviously the car has no power. I found the plug finally. It took a minute. I thought this was the plug for the seat motor. I thought this was the plug maybe for the seat motor, but I finally found it. I put some pins in there, got that hooked up, and look, ready? So it works. I'll put the seat back, take the front bolts out, put the seat all the way forward, and then take the rear bolts out, and then I'll show you. But yeah, this wiring under here is coming together pretty good. Alright, so this is the part that actually plugs into the gauge, because I had to pull all the way out because this plug wasn't going to fit through that hole. So this is the grommet that the O2 wires went to from the factory. We'll get this shoved in here. Alright, so a few things left to wire up. Got the wideband ran underneath the carpet, up this channel, and up here. So that's cool. All the gauges are back up there, and down here you gotta wire them up. So I had to clean up this area again for all the nitrous wiring and stuff. Just coming together. Got a lot to do. Got a lot done. Alright, so we're back. It's been about 21 days since the last clip you guys saw in the video. Since then we've gotten nice new intake manifold, looks sexy. One thing I had to do was order a adapter, 1/4 inch NPT to 1/8 inch, I believe. So the map sensor can just go right in there. Haven't done much in here. Really haven't worked on the car since then. Just with the lower back pain I've been having, hasn't been great bending over and everything from the accident. So, and I'm also still waiting for pistons. It's going on 6 weeks. I've reached out, haven't gotten an update yet, so no idea. Car's not even ready for it anyways, but that's my goal. Next couple of days, get this car ready for the motor just to be dropped in. When that's done, we got a lot to do. One of the big things to do is clean up this harness, and I got to relume everything over there. But here, this is for the TCU, and the way he had this all like wired up, he had all the he had a lot of the where are they at? You know, like little inline splicers. It just wasn't done neatly, so I took it all apart. I'm gonna have this all neatly under the dash by the ECU, tuck these away, and it's just going to be much cleaner under there. So this would be a nice, great improvement. In here, got some wire. This is for the power steering pump, the Volvo pump. This is I had the different power distribution block, but I'm just going to use a 2-pin, 2-prong. Should be all I need. Basically a lot of wiring left, and not even a lot of cleaning up. And then for all these little short splices, I want to get these all prepared nicely so I can loom this back up and then just have those few wires that need a splicing for the gauges and stuff under the dash, easy to put the gauges in. Alright, finally update time. We have pretty much all the wiring done on the interior. I got to get the dash put back, like actually bolted back in, but man, we cleaned up so much. So this is for the cigarette lighter. This is for the head unit, and then this switch has a loom on it. But under here, as you can tell, 10 times better. This is just the short run for the nitrous button, but this one right here is for the power steering level control. But right here, this is all the gauges. So there's a power ground off this that goes from the fuse right here. All the gauges are spliced into this connector. We have the sensor ground and the wideband that runs across with a few other wires. We just cleaned it up so much under here. Reloomed the ECM, ECU, wire harness. Cleaned up in here a ton. So let's look at that. So everything's mounted in there, bolted. We got, we added a relay in there for the vacuum pump. So there's like 4 or 5, yeah, there's 4 extra relays in there. And it's all wired pretty good. Let's go around the other side. So for this side, you can see everything's cleaned up. We got everything ran back out into the engine bay. These are all the wires from the fuse box. Can't really do much about that. So, figured I'd just get a quick update video in here of what the wiring looks like before I'm putting all the interior back in. And I never want to do that again. Throw some before and after pictures up here real quick and move on to the next thing. Next time you be seeing this should be all put back together. on the interior at least. Alright, so I want to get this video out. It's been a long time since the video's been up, but here's her current state, what we've gotten done, what we got left. We have the fuse box completely relocated, the harness is all tidied up. Looks really good. I'll throw a before picture in, a midway picture, and then you can see how it looks after. Looks pretty good. So a few things we have to do in here. This is, we gotta put the power distribution, like the positive there to connect all the, like the battery cable, the starter. We have the power steering, that's what this is. But yeah, this is the new harness that I loomed up. We haven't tidied this up yet because I just want to be sure where it goes. We mounted the vacuum pump, wired it in. I gotta get the hose and the check valves, all that installed, but that's mounted. I made a custom bracket for it. So that's cool. I'm not going to touch the engine harness until we got the motor in here, just because I want to get the lengths correct. But because like from there to like here, that's a long ways. I don't think we need like probably even half that. So we'll see. Last night I finished doing the power steering lines. Let me get the light. Alright, so we got the lines complete. Just had to cut them and terminate them, put the AN fitting on. And then here I put a little riv nut in the body and put that there so there's no chance of it coming loose. Hopefully the tire, it might be an issue. I might have to redo those. We'll see. I didn't check the fitment yet, but hoping for the best. We'll see what the fitment looks like. So that is the engine bay and everything. Main things I need left done, like I said, the power distribution block and the check valves. Let's go into the interior of the car. So for the interior, it is beautiful now, other than the carpet, but that's no big deal. We'll get new carpet eventually. They cut this like too short, so it always comes out. But the whole interior is back together. It is super clean and looks like a car again. I'm going to show you the before and after pictures of the wires. Everything's pretty cleaned up. Let's go to the passenger side. So passenger side even has the seat in already, bolted in, good to go. And yeah, I'm just really happy to have this interior back together and it feels like a car again. A lot of points throughout this process I definitely didn't think this interior would ever be back together. So we have those two wires. These aren't terminated yet either, so once they're terminated to that power distribution block, I'll tidy them up. As for this, this is the ECM link cable, fuse box. The only thing that sucks is it doesn't, when I put the cover on, it doesn't latch. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Super happy with the progress and can't wait till we're done and getting the motor in. So I appreciate you guys for watching, sticking around, liking the videos, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.